Okay, are you ready?
Am I first?
It looks clearly, yes. Yes. Okay, so who's the gospel author that was a Jew that wrote to the Jews?
Matthew.
Perfect, first base. Good job. Okay, pay attention. Who did John write his gospel to?
The Romans.
Negative. First out. Who did, what was Luke's profession?
Doctor.
Perfect, go.
I knew about the
Yeah, you go
baseball.
So, if there was a miracle, most likely it was in whose gospel?
Mark.
Perfect. Y'all are killing it.
Here we go.
Okay.
RBI.
How many books are in the Bible?
There is 66.
Perfect. So y'all, Catherine, go right team one and give yourself a point.
Cool.
Come on, Tito. All right. Give me 2 of the 4 categories that are in the Old Testament.
Prophecy and poetic.
Perfect. Okay. Give me the other 2 she didn't say. She said prophecy and poetry. So Old Testament.
Oh, God.
You can do it. Do you know what the first 5 books of the Bible are? Like, it's okay if you don't know. You don't know? Okay, Al? Okay, Mackenzie. Give me, how many books are in the Old Testament?
39.
Perfect. Give yourself a point. Give me the other 2 categories that she didn't mention. She said prophecy and poetry, I think.
History and law.
Perfect. Killed it. Let's see. Who wrote most of the New Testament? Paul. Good job. Who did Luke write his gospel to? No. We already did that one. Or maybe we didn't. I don't know. That was 3 outs.
Oh, man. Oh, we're done?
Yeah, you're done. Let's go. Next shirt. Good job, though. You got 5 points. Y'all sit over there. Sit over there. Sit over there.
This is to read over
5 points. That's all we have. Wait, am I going first?
You're smarter than I am.
Okay, Cameron. Hey, as we go, you get points if you're loud, and I can't talk to this person. You'll have a point deducted from your team. Okay? Cameron, how many books are in the New Testament?
27.
Yes.
I didn't want to get that one wrong.
Okay, true, false. All of the gospel accounts cover the same events of the life of Christ. Can you say it again?
Yes.
Okay, all the gospel accounts cover this. And by the way, if it's false, you gotta tell me why it's false. If it's true, duh, right? It's true, okay? All the gospel accounts cover the same events in the life of Christ. True or false?
I have no idea. Is it false?
It is false. Can you think of why it's false?
Because they cover different miracles.
Sure, that's good.
Yeah.
Because they cover different miracles, but they cover different things. That's easy to.
Aren't they different times too?
What is the real
So, I'm getting okay. Well, so the real deal is do you remember us talking about synoptic?
Yes.
Anybody remember what that was?
Like the same.
The same, similar, right? So, but John's not synoptic, okay? So there's different ways of saying how that's false. Okay, so now the 3 got Matthew, Mark, and Luke are similar, but John's different. So therefore, all 4 gospels cannot all be the same.
Wait,
John's different.
because like he covered more miracles?
No, because he covered, his was more spiritually focused, and he covered, so like, remember the first 3 were written before John was written. And so they covered a lot of what Jesus did. They're historical. And John covered more like who he was. It's more spiritual. Okay, so give me the definition for testament.
Story.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. What's testament mean?
Covenant.
Covenant. Covenant. What does holy mean?
Oh, okay. Set apart.
Set apart. Give yourself a point. Right, team 2 up there. Okay. Who's the gospel author that hey.
I just realized you found this.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Who's the gospel author that quotes the Old Testament the most?
Oh. You know what? Well, I can help him?
No, you can't help.
Oh, damn.
Sorry.
I think it's right. I have no idea.
No, just try. Just choose. You got 4 to choose from.
Try. So what's the question?
What gospel author quotes the Old Testament the most? It is possibly the closest to the Old Testament also.
Oh, come on. That's.
I just got a spoon and...
Ben, if you get it wrong, I'm gonna get it.
No, you're gonna guess. Just guess. Of the 4 gospels. Come on, Ben, I believe.
Say no.
Just say it.
What you just say? It's closest to the Old Testament. I don't know which one is.
That's okay. Just guess one of the 4. One of the 4 gospels.
John, but it's wrong.
It is wrong. Okay, do you know? Matthew. It's Matthew. Brom, it's Matthew.
I almost said it.
That's Ben.
Ben, oh gosh. It's Matthew. Okay.
Wait. They can't move if you get it wrong.
No, Kayla got it right.
She's not that right. She doesn't know it now.
All right, Abby. True or false? The book of John is one of the shortest books in the New Testament.
True.
That is false. What's the shortest book?
Mark.
Well, technically the shortest gospel is Mark.
No idea.
Okay. Well, I worked it wrong. Is that 3 outs or no? Yeah? Switch.
No, I'll be kidding. I'm trying to be sure. Have you never heard anyone go from Matthew Mark?
Hey, did everyone go in your group? Or y'all, you know how to start?
I don't know where mine was.
Okay, try and stay in the right order, okay? So that one person's not answering them all and etc.
Yeah, I think everyone's gone or something. Okay, scoot.
Have y'all gone? Just guess, and then the next time you'll be great. Okay. Hey, we're going. Okay, Peyton.
Yes.
What does the word Christ in Greek? What is it?
Oh my gosh, I know this. Oh, I know this.
You can do it. Christ. What is Christ?
No,
It's 2 words.
No, I know. It's right off the tip of my tippy tip. It's anointed one.
Yes, it is. Good job.
Yes, it is.
What were you saying, man?
Anointed one. And again, until you heard it.
So you're cheating. That's an out.
Oh,
no.
I know that. I know we're not allowed to do that. You should. Oh, I didn't say it.
I thought you were saying that. I was like, surely he's not saying that.
Oh, I didn't know we weren't allowed to do that.
Okay. Here, Peyton, go back and I'll ask you a different question.
Can I have
No.
Cheating is not acceptable. That's just the only one I did.
We have a zero tolerance policy.
That's right, Cameron. That's right.
It was my phone
another
friend.
question.
Maybe, hey, it's the first time we played this game. Maybe I wasn't
It's not my fault.
All the big games.
Right. Okay.
Alright, so since Shane got the cheat, can we all cheat our test?
Guys, I'm giving grace, Cameron.
Yeah.
Can I have grace on the first time?
No? Okay. So, what did Christ, a lot of times, like, referring to his deity, like, what did he call himself?
He called him.
JP, you're up.
He called himself. Well, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So, he always referred to himself, like, with this. It was 2 words. And he always referred to himself at that, like, several times when it was referring to his deity,
Yes.
which is his, like, claim to be God.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got one?
What is the answer?
The answer is I am.
Oh, what?
Okay? The answer is I am. He referred to himself a lot as I am. 1 out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really
This gospel was specifically written to the Jews.
You literally answered that question. It's fine.
I repeat several things.
Is it Matthew?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine, which gospel author covers both the birth and the crucifixion of Jesus?
Luke.
Yes, he did. Okay, which gospel author covered, like the last half of his book, covers the last week of Jesus' life? The last half of his book covers the last week of Jesus' life.
Wow, Anna, look at this.
I knew this.
You got 4 guesses. I mean, I'm just joking. You
Yeah,
got 4 choices. 4 choices.
John?
John, good job. That works. Okay, what is a prominent word that John uses in his gospel? Like they all have a prominent word, right, in that chart?
Oh.
You want to guess?
Just say another word. Just say a word.
Okay, there's another out. What is Matthew's prominent word?
Wait, what was the answer?
I didn't give it.
Oh, what is that?
I have no idea either.
Do you know?
Awesome.
Okay, y'all need to go over your words, people. So, John's is believed, Matthew's is fulfilled.
Get him up here, Mom.
We got 3 in a row.
Okay. Are you lefty? Hey,
Mom, baby, get over here.
give me, give me 2 of the 4 categories that are in the New Testament.
New Testament.
New Testament. Just give me 2 or 4.
History and prophecy.
Perfect. Give me the next 2. Cameron. New Testament. He said history and prophecy.
You're up.
No, Cameron, you got this. Think about what does the New Testament even start with? Right, but what is that in?
See, I know that, Ben.
But what is that in?
That's in. Oh, Gospels.
Okay, that's 1. So we've got history, prophecy, gospels. The majority of the New Testament is. Think about who wrote most of the New Testament. He wrote.
Paul. Letters.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Let's go.
Hannah, what's another word for letter? Epistle. Good job. Go, Joaquin. Okay, Ashlyn. This author emphasized the humanity of Christ. The humanity of Christ. Luke. Good job. Give y'all a point. Joaquin. What does the word gospel mean?
Alright.
Okay. Story? No.
No.
It was a guess.
Hey, Mackenzie.
At least we didn't get 0 points.
Which author portrays Christ as God?
Fuck, it's been the hard ones.
I was actually thought that was an easy one. Okay, it is. Who portrays Christ as God? Again, yes.
Yes. I'm just gonna keep going with John.
That's right. Good job.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, hey, Rachel,
Coming for you.
what does the word gospel mean?
Yo, Doc, can we get these questions?
I was gonna say.
Gospel. Think about
It's 2 words.
Cussing on the video.
Okay.
Can you just tell us
Is that 3 outs?
Yes.
What's that?
2 outs?
2 outs.
Mackenzie,
Can you tell us?
what's gospel
Oh,
mean?
yeah, Ben actually got it.
2 words. Gospel is the. That's.
Whoa!
I don't know how to.
Hold on. What?
That's all I got. You don't know? What is it?
Good news.
Good news. You guys are over there. Oh my word. Go, leave it alone.
Let's get in the class.
Great.
Isn't it everybody sleep? That's not
Okay, this gospel author features Christ's sermons prominently. Sermons is teachings, words. Matthew. This gospel author wrote his gospel to everyone. John? Mm-hmm. What does the word synoptic mean?
Same.
Yeah, sure. Same, similar, alike. Which gospel is not part of the synoptic gospels?
John.
John.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
Yay.
Which gospel author never met Jesus?
Oh, that was.
What?
One out of four.
Yeah, 25% right of good chance of getting right.
Discuss.
He never met Jesus. That we're for sure he never met Jesus.
What?
What?
I promise you that's the
Wait,
really?
yeah.
No!
Okay, which two gospel authors were his disciples?
Oh. Matthew, John.
Yeah. So remember the two bookends, the two ends were his gospels. Okay? I mean his disciples.
Wait.
No,
Okay, that's what pals.
Okay,
Olivia. She's obsessed with
how many miracles does John record?
7.
Boom.
I told you that.
What does the word Christ mean?
Oh.
This is redemption.
Christ, anointed one.
Boom! Well
I
done.
got that.
Okay.
How come they get so many points on this one?
Y'all got like 16.
Okay, so
I got one wrong.
the primary like geographic focus of Christ's ministry in John's gospel, like what area does John cover the most? Yeah, Judea. Good job.
You know JP.
In his gospel, Mark portrays Christ as.
What was it, man?
How does Mark portray Christ? You know, they all portray Christ as something. Mark. Remember, he's about action. You know? Okay, y'all about to lose a point. Just keep talking. Okay, Alexis. So true or false? The synoptic gospels deal primarily with what Christ did. John deals with who Christ was. True.
Yeah, Alexis.
In his gospel, Mark portrays Christ as.
King.
No.
This isn't right.
Is that 3 outs?
No, it's 2.
How does Mark portray Christ? Servant. Servant.
You should be out by now. You should be out by now. We don't get to move. Guys, we got 13 points.
Okay, give me. Hey, how does John often refer to himself as in his own gospel? Like he doesn't say I John ... What does he say?
I am.
That's Jesus. Okay, does anybody know?
Wait, what was it?
The disciple whom Jesus loved.
Oh, John.
Yeah, John. Okay, switch. Let's go.
Can we get a point for that?
No.
Even I knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hey, Sure, we're reviewing.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Y'all know the game. It's baseball.
Oh gosh.
Just don't answer. Y'all are gonna know the answers. Don't answer. Okay. Which gospel author? Oh, and by the way, there's a video.
Oh my god, hi! This is awkward for me.
Okay, which gospel author emphasizes evangelism?
Oh, she said we're gonna know the answer.
That one you meant.
Wait, evangelism?
Yeah.
The gospel authors.
What?
Like,
Okay,
no,
what?
like which like that question was like which gospel author?
Yeah. That's okay. One specifically, like his focus was like evangelism. He wanted people to know who Christ was.
It was either Matthew or Mark, right?
Right.
But I can give you two hints, so I can't give you anything else. 3, 2, 1. What's your guess?
There's nobody. Mark.
Oh, get one of them.
Gina? John? Remember, I even said like who he was. John is like all about who he was. Because he's like,
I didn't know that was.
well, that was another thing. Okay.
Give me the camera.
What three areas primarily make up Israel?
Galilee, Judea, and something that starts with an S.
Yes. S.A.
Samaria.
Yeah, good job.
Can you just spell the whole word out?
Okay, 13 to 4.
Can we start getting this voice?
I can give y'all hints. I'll give you hints. Okay, so when was the Gospel of John written? Like not a time frame, but like compared to the other three Gospels. This has already been answered in class.
The last week that Jesus is alive.
No, but I know what you're trying to go with. Okay, let's go. True or false? The law is one of the categories in the New Testament.
False.
False. What is it?
It's in the Old Testament.
It's in the Old Testament. Good job.
Yeah, wrong.
Let's go Mark. I'm carrying.
What does the word testament mean?
Haven't we done that?
Yeah, we've done a lot of
I
them.
still don't remember.
So,
Wait, there's an old one. Just give me a second. And then there's a new one. I don't think we ever got the answer for
yeah,
that.
they actually answered it.
Wait, can I?
No.
I'm not gonna say it.
You can't help them.
Let's go. We gotta move on. Do you know it or not? What's testament mean? What's the word testament mean?
I'll take the L. I don't know.
What does testament mean, Joaquin? Covenant.
No,
No,
I said
you're
it
done.
for
No,
her.
you
I said it for her.
You're done.
You're out.
That's an out. Yeah, you're right.
That's 2 outs.
Abby's turn.
Is that 3 or 2?
3.
Oh my god, I forgot we're in the freaking video.
It's not like we're gonna be here. I'll just let us have one more question. It was 2.
Wait, are you on? Where are you? Are you on second?
Okay, bye-bye. That was 3 outs.
I need to borrow someone's phone so I can figure out what a medium shot is. I need to ask. I need to Google what a
No,
medium
let's go. I
shot
swear that
is.
wasn't 3 outs.
What? Okay. Okay, you definitely don't have any points to lose. Are you with me? Like, hey, what's the word gospel mean? Good news. Good news. Okay, give me the 4 categories of the Old Testament.
Prophecy, poetry, law, history.
Good. Give me, how many human writers were there in the Bible?
40.
Good. Give me the 4 categories of the New Testament.
Okay, you got epistles, history,
prophetic, and the Gospels.
Good. What does Jesus, like, when he's talking about himself, he calls himself this a lot?
I am.
Good. This gospel was, he portrayed Christ as king.
I'm not good at this one.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, wait, let's just go to Mark.
Okay, no. Next question. How did he portray Christ as king? Who portrayed Christ as king? No. Who portrayed Christ as king? Matthew. Okay.
It's the other end.
No, she got it. Ken got it. She's going. So, who portrayed Christ as? Who portrayed Christ as God? God. How many authors of the Bible are there? 1. One author. Okay, so I've pretty much asked you most of the questions, okay? So it's pretty much a kill, okay? So you won.